Do you remember when Rutgers was so good they beat the number 3 team in the nation and were eventually ranked in the top 10? Let's run it back. 4 games into the 2006 season, Rutgers was on a streak. They had won those 4 games, and all of a sudden were launched into the national scene. They were ranked number 23 in the nation. And by the way, that team was kind of nice. They had Mike Teal at quarterback, who was okay. I mean, put it this way, this wasn't his best season at Rutgers, 2006, nor was it his second best season. But here's the thing, he didn't have to be incredible that season. All he had to do was hand the ball off to Ray Rice or Brian Leonard. But they also had Tyquan Underwood at wide receiver, and Kenny Britt, and also Clark Harris at tight end. And that defense was also nice. They had Eric Foster, who was a force to be reckoned with, and of course, the McCourty twins. But right after being nationally ranked, they faced a long streak of road games at South Florida, at Navy, at Pitt, and they won all of them. And they beat UConn at home, and then came number 3 Louisville. But first, if you love the deepest sports lore stories, drop me a follow. See, that number 3 in the nation Louisville team under head coach Bobby Petrino and led by quarterback Brian Brom had blown through every opponent on their schedule up to that point and had just come off a win against number 3 West Virginia. But you see, there was pandemonium that day in Piscataway. Louisville could not stop Ray Rice. He had 131 yards that game, 2 touchdowns, and averaged about 6 yards per carry. And somehow, some way, Rutgers would get the W. And next week, they were ranked number 7 in the nation. Rutgers. But next on their schedule was Cincinnati, who at the time was 5-5, and they would get blown out. A couple weeks later, they would lose to number 15 West Virginia in a heartbreaker. Pat McAfee had 15 points that game, 4 field goals and 3 extra points. And then they would beat Kansas State in the Texas Bowl and finish the season number 12 in the AP poll. But come on, it's just fun to think